Welcome to another video. This time we are going to be finding percentages of numbers. So my question today is, can you find 60% of 240? Now I've learned a little trick and I've taught this to my class called the bubble method. And this makes finding percentages really easy. So I always start with a bubble in the top left corner, and this bubble represents 100%. So 100% is the total amount that you have. So that's going to be 240. Now, in the bubble method, if you move down a bubble, it means that you halve the number. So this means that I halve or divide by 2. So if I've got 100% in this bubble and I halve it, in this bubble, I'm going to have 50%. And in the following bubble, if I continue to go down, I divide by 2 again, and if I have 50% in this bubble and I halve it to make this bubble, I'm going to have 25%. So that's quite easy. However, there's more. If you move to the right, you divide by 10. So you make your number 10 times smaller. So if I start with 100% and I divide it by 10, this bubble is going to represent 10% of that number. And I can go another step. Remember, going to the right, you divide by 10. So if this bubble was 10% and I make it 10 times smaller to make this bubble, I'm going to end up with 1%. And there's one more bubble I can put in, and that's this one in here. I wonder if you can guess what this one's going to be. So I can either take from my 10% and halve it, or I can go from my 50% and divide it by 10. I wonder if you've got the right answer. It's 5%, that bubble. That's what that bubble is worth. So that's the frame for the bubble method. We now need to put the numbers in it that are going to help us find 60%. And to make the bubble method useful, we can add any of these bubbles together to get us to this 60%. So I'm going to choose the 50% bubble and the 10% bubble, because 50 add 10 is 60%, and we need to find 60% of this number. So we need to find out what number is in the 50% bubble. So 240 is my whole, is my 100%. If I go down and halve it, I know that in this bubble, it's going to be 120. So the 50% bubble is 120. I'm going to put that next to my 50% over here, because this column here is going to be your answer. Okay? I now need to find out what the 10% bubble is worth. So again, I start at my 100%, that's 240. I know if I move this way, I divide by 10. And to divide by 10, my digits move one column to the right. So it's going to be 24. So to get my answer, I'm going to add up those bubbles together. So 120 add 24, 4 add 0, 2 add 2 is 4, 1 add nothing is 1. So 60% is 144. So 60% of 240 is 144. I hope the bubble method helps you.